I keep forgetting the name of this thing.
That's a good sign.
I'm here with Kim Boyko. I'm Housecatnick. This is Talkin' Tunes, and we're just going to talk about her and her music.
Cool.
Right now, you are mostly a solo artist, right?
Yeah. Right now, I'm finding myself as a human being and as a musician, because I took a long break to have a couple of kids, and so now it's like, hey, I should probably, start doing that music thing again. So I have a YouTube channel where I do mostly covers, but I do post my originals there. And right now, I'm actually really excited because I finally decided to just do it. I'm going to make a full-length album.
Okay, cool.
My first full-length, yeah.
Have you started writing for that already, or?
Yeah, so the songs are pretty much written. So it's really we've just started recording. I've got like one track pretty much down.
Is it a full band thing, or is it a?
So
Like, what's the lineup?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So there's this guy, Ryan Hobler, who I'm a huge fan of, who I heard while performing in Metuchen. Montclair. Heard while performing in Montclair. And I love his sound, and I love the way he layers harmonies and stuff. So literally, I just reached out to him this year and said, do you want to help me make an album?
Cool.
He does, he writes his own music, but he also produces other people's music, but he's never really made someone else's album, like in that capacity. So right now, it's him doing the instrumentation and me.
All of it?
Yeah,
like drums,
pretty much.
bass?
Yeah, so the first track didn't have any drums on it.
Okay.
It's a little more like synthy, a little more
Okay, cool.
funky.
Wow,
but,
that's a departure from how I know you as a acoustic guitar accompaniment vocal.
There's still going to be acoustic guitar in it for sure, but that's just it, right? He was like, okay, well, why now? What's happening right now? And so I think I finally know what I want to sound like. I did the EP, and it was just acoustic because that's what I could afford, and it was what I sounded like at the time, and I wanted people coming to see me to be able to, buy the album that would sound like what I was sounding like in the coffee shops and stuff. But it's not really 100% representative of who I think I am as an artist.
The first album?
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
Really
Yeah.
Have you ever done the full band thing? Or?
No, I've always wanted to, but it just never came to be.
I mean, it's the dynamic of a full band is well, you teach kids.
Yeah.
It's not too different. Sorry, band members, other musicians I've worked with, but it's the truth,
Kind of herding cats, so to speak.
Yeah, it's same thing. So you finally get a chance to explore other avenues of your sonic palette, so to speak.
Bingo.
But with just one other person, not.
So far.
And this record is going to be, I'm assuming, all originals. And you're saying full length, like more than 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm aiming for like 10, 11.
And you already have the 10 or 11? Are these like brand new, or have you gone into the archives of stuff that you haven't?
So that's a good question. So I have a couple of the songs that are going to be on it, maybe 1 or 2 recorded on YouTube, just in general, that I performed out and stuff. But nothing, that I've fully recorded in a studio setting or even in my own little home studio setting. But some of the songs I started writing 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one that we recorded, it's called Mantra. And I started writing it about 10 years ago while we were renting in our little apartment in Rahway.
Shout out to Rahway.
Shout out to Rahway. And it kind of grew with me. Like as the years passed, I started adding little things here and there, and then I was like, oh man, I have an idea for a bridge. I have an idea for a chorus sort of thing, and it grew up with me, and so I'm really excited about that. So it's old, but it's new in that I just
Well, that's curious that you're saying that, because through the past bunch of conversations I have with other musicians is writing about where you are at the moment. And there's been a few musicians I've been talking to who do have an archive of half-finished or older songs that feel they need to be updated.
Yeah.
And the question has always been, are those old songs still pertinent to where you are now? And if you are using the whole song, has the symbolism or the meaning of it changed? Or if you are adding new parts to it, is it become like a record of a progression of your life?
Yeah, that's
all of those things, or
that's kind of what this one is. It's kind of like here's where I started. Here's where so many of us start in this. I mean, if you want to know about it, it's kind of like this. You know, we tell ourselves it's all right, we're all right. You know, someone asks you how you doing, I'm all right. How's it going? You know, and there's so much usually beneath the surface of that. So the beginning is just the surface, and then as the song progresses, it kind of undoes that and unravels it and says, wait a minute, what does that even mean? Am I really all right? What does it take to be all right? And then, like I said, it kind of grew up with me, so by the end of the song, it gets to where I am now.
Where do you find your muse?
That's a really good question. I feel like it changes for every song. I don't know about you, if you have any kind of like set, you know, process. But for me, sometimes it's, you know what, I'm going to go back to that and I want to finish that. And I really like, you know, there was something about that I just want to try to flesh out and really get it done. And then other songs, one night I was just lying in bed and I was, I don't know, just feeling a little melancholy, a little sullen, and I had to get it out. And I wrote a song in like 20 minutes because it was just how I was feeling in the moment. So sometimes it's the middle of the night and I'm like whispering into my voice memos on my phone. And other times it's inspiration. One of the songs I'm going to play tonight is called The Beauty of It All. And that song I wrote while I was at a Brandi Carlile concert. At least I started writing it. She was talking about her family. She was talking about her wife. And at the time they were, you know, having a kid. And it was so cool. In that moment, I had two thoughts in my head. The first thought was, wow, that's really cool. She can openly talk about her family and not have people booing her, right?
Yeah.
And then the second thought was, what a horrible, like, that's the bar?
Yeah.
Wow, she's talking about her wife and not getting booed off the stage. That's a low bar. But, you know, there's a lot of bigotry, there's a lot of homophobia in the world, and so in the moment it was like, wow, that's really cool. If people do have a problem with that, that's their problem.
Yeah.
You know, and so the song came to be. The problem lies with you. Like, if you have an issue with the progress that our world is making and whatever. So I just kind of started writing it actually while I was at this concert. Again, like whispering into my voice memos during between songs, and then I came back to it later in the
I hear the angry voices as they rise above the din, but volume seldom ever reflects quality within. So you can keep on shouting till your swollen face turns blue. The problem lies with you. Tired positions on tradition and on sin, while the couple standing next to me holds hands and shares a grin. If you fixate on who relates 'cause you care who loves who, the problem lies with you. The beauty of it all is you're outnumbered 10-2, and we enjoy our happiness while the misery eats you through. You know we do. The problem lies with you. I see a man was beaten for the color of his skin, while a white man doing twice as much is calmly taken in. So if you think there's no difference in the treatment of our hues, the problem lies with you. I see the families torn apart all in the name of fear, 'cause no one can be trusted if they weren't born right here. If you think a life's illegal 'cause somebody says it's true, the problem lies with you. The beauty of it all, it can be difficult to find, but we see it in the people who stand firmly at our side. So if the world is singing sweetly and you harp the hateful few, the problem lies with you. The problem lies with you.
I don't really know if I have a set process. It comes in sparks.
Is it words or music first?
Sometimes it's both. I think it's usually both, maybe. Like I have a melody to what I want to say, and then it can get tweaked and stuff. But it's usually both simultaneously.
Do lyrics come easily for you, or?
So yeah, they do typically, because my songs tend to be pretty logical. There's not often a lot of like flowery imagery or like encoded messages. It's typically pretty straightforward and very logic and organized. But I could write, like, if you give me a prompt, I could write you a song. It might not be my song. It might not be like the song that I want to put on my album kind of thing.
Right.
But I do have a pretty easy time coming up with something on the spot.
With melody?
Yeah. Yeah, I usually do. It depends, it depends on the vibe. Like, my husband was making a movie, and he really wanted to use this track that it would have cost way too much money to license it for the movie. So he was like, I need something for this space. And I think I came up with something in about 10 minutes that just fit, because that if I have the inspiration, my brain puts it together like pieces of a puzzle. That's how I see it. But for me personally, like, to have a song that actually like is what I want to sound like, and for me, not for somebody else, that is a little more rare.
Well, I think that's a very important skill. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I have written for short films as well.
Yeah.
And it was a very interesting exercise of shedding yourself.
Yeah.
Because you have, when we write our own music, we're expressing who we are.
Yeah.
But to find yourself in a position of it being a task, and fulfilling that task of, well, we need 10 seconds of very tense music here, or very, lovey-dovey, flowery music here.
Right.
And if it's not what you really do, then that's where the skill sets of who you are as a musician can come through. Which makes me ask, like, what is your musical background? Did you go to music school at all?
I wish I did. Like, I probably should. I probably should get some like theory under my belt at some point. I had a musical theater background. So
well, that helped.
Yeah, but again, I can't like sight read or anything like that. I would just hear the song and sing it back to you.
I've actually had conversations with everybody that sat in that chair.
Yeah.
I've had a conversation about music theory and their wish that they could read music.
Yeah,
and
it's convenient.
it can help, but the tool really is your ears and your heart.
I don't really even know how to explain my process, because, I mean, like you said, right? I think it's just observational. I think I grew up listening to so much music, and I think my brain kind of works in music, right? If I'm playing Trivial Pursuit with you and you're reading a question to me, I'm going to tell you to read it to me a couple times, because my brain doesn't hold the information unless you sing it to me, and then I'll remember the lyrics in a heartbeat. Like, that's how my brain works. So growing up, I listened to so much music growing up.
Yeah, what did you listen to?
Yeah, I listened to everything. My parents were into such diverse music, from like, the musicals, like the Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah, like listening to that and listening to like those vocals and craziness, and then like,
was it the Broadway record, or was it
it was
the original?
The original movie one.
Original movie one? Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Because I love the original one. Oh my God, the producer's name. I used to, because Ian Gillan from Deep Purple played Jesus Christ on the Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, okay, that's the movie one.
No, that's the original one.
That's the
before
musical
movie
one.
was-
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
And Garden of Gethsemane, when I was a little kid, was like, oh my God, if I could only sing like that. It used to give me chills every time I heard it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But so like listening to, Judas was my favorite, right? So like all the Jesus, so cool.
Oh, okay, singing, not personality.
Yes. Well, no, I love Judas. Just the betrayal. I love it. No, but just his voice. The movie. I forget his name because I'm not good with names. But his voice just like killed me growing up. And there's that one scene where he sings like, I don't know how to love him, and he's like, will he love me too? Does he care for me? And it was like so much emotion. I didn't know that someone could put that much emotion into their vocals until I heard that track.
How old were you when you heard that?
I don't know. I listened to it my whole childhood. I listened to it all the time. I have the entire album memorized. But yeah, so there was a lot of musicals, but there was also Stevie Wonder was a big one. The Beach Boys, my dad was into John Eddy, who's like a Jersey Shore guy who I love. But there was so much diverse Squeeze. There was like a lot of everything coming at me from all different directions. So I feel like it's hard to even say that there's such a thing as an original sound because everything's been done, right? There's so much that goes into your brain and like your musical identity. So, you know, I try to take it all lightly because it's like, you know, if you're worrying so much about sounding like someone else, it's going to drive you nuts.
When did the switch go on about, hey, I can write like
I don't know.
for my performances?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think, actually what I did was I had this big blue notebook that was just full of poems, you know, partial stuff. And I went back through that and I was like, let me just see, you know, maybe something will inspire me to kind of add music to it. And at the time I had just written like Jersey Girl. And it was just like a cheesy little thing in my head. And I was like, oh, you know, you could take me all around the world, but I'll still be a Jersey girl. And it was cute, so I liked it. I went with it. And I had my brother come up with chords for me because I had no freaking idea what I was doing. And so when I started doing the guitar lessons, I started, you know, having a little more under my belt and being like, okay, maybe I can do this. So then I went back through that old notebook from like high school, and I found like a stanza that I really liked, and I put it to music. And then from there, I think it kind of started and evolved. And then I had the guitar so I could add more, and then I started thinking more melodically as well as not just.
So you started writing music, you had these words, but you had no idea what to do harmonically underneath it. But you could sing. Wow, that's brave of you. I can write music. I don't know what that is with the 6 strings, but
yeah, like Scott, this is what I want it to sound like. You can tell me what are the chords for that, and just help me.
That's actually kind of brilliant and brave and bold on your part too.
Thanks.
In this world of endless change, knees get scraped, egos get bruised, we feel the pain. One thing steady, one thing sane. This love for you, it will eternally remain. With arms outstretched to hold, I'll keep you from the cold. You will never be too old for me to wrap up in my love. Never let go, never let go, never let go. Wrap you in my love. Never let go, never let go, never let go. Take me in or turn me down. No matter how far, I will always be around. In my blood, you're of my skin. No matter how closed off, I'll always let you in. With arms outstretched to hold, I'll keep you from the cold. You will never be too old for me to wrap up in my love. Never let go, never let go, never let go. Wrap you in my love. Never let go, never let go, never let go. Take me in or turn me down. No matter how far, I'll always be around. In my blood, you're of my skin. No matter how close off, always let you in. With arms outstretched to hold,
So what was the inspiration on that one then?
I mean, it's unconditional love. It's cool because, so my perspective on becoming a parent is that, like, I would have been totally fine if I didn't have kids, right? Like, talking to my husband, you know, it took a lot of, like, is this the right thing to do? Should we bring kids into this world? But
I've had that conversation. Not with your husband.
No, okay, that's good. I'm glad. But, and so, you know, but it's so funny because he's usually the pessimist and I'm usually the optimist. And he was like, you know, it's the best thing we could do, because if we love our kids and that adds more love to the world, then all it can do is add positivity, right? I know, it's a big, I know.
I never would have thought of that.
I never did either, yeah. I was more just worried about, like, it's just unconditional love. It's like, cool, this new experience has shown me that, like, wow, there really is such a thing as this love that you could do anything. You could push me away, you could, you know, move to another country, but I'll always be here for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's talk about your YouTube
channel. Sure.
I mean, how did that start?
So it was actually pretty cute. My husband and my family had always kind of told me, like, you should do this. Like, look, there's people singing on the internet. You just do it. Like, you've got a good voice. You should do it. And I was just like, no one wants to hear me sing. I don't know, whatever. I'll just do my stage stuff, you know. And so I had bought my husband, with like one of my first big paychecks, I bought him a camera because he was going on a business trip to London or something, and I wanted him to have, you know, a good camera to, like, take pictures and stuff. And he is a filmmaker, so you could do good video with it too. And so for then my birthday, he bought me a microphone, and he was like, now you have no excuse. We've got the camera, we've got the microphone, we're gonna do it. So in our tiny little Rahway apartment, in our kitchen dining area, that was all one, you know, a kitchenette, I guess. We just set it up, and it was a USB mic, couldn't get easier than that. Just used GarageBand and iMovie and put it together. And I couldn't really play guitar at first, so I used a backing track for the first couple videos, and then I started taking lessons and doing more videos. So that was it, and the rest is history. It was like 10 years ago now.
And you're up to how many viewers?
Oh, I'm up to almost 10,000, which is insane.
That's like 1,000 more than what I have. 1,000 times more than what I have. How do you do your marketing then? Or
I don't.
You don't?
Wow. I don't. I know. It's I should.
How's that for a tip? If you want to get a lot of followers, do nothing.
Well, listen, again, the channel's been up for like over 10 years. But it's true, like the videos that come out the best are the ones where I like, oh man, I love that song so much, I have to record that. I want to do that right now.
Right.
And I don't know if you ever watched the show True Detective. It was on HBO.
Yeah, it was a while ago though. But
so there was multiple seasons, but the first season we were like so captivated by it. It was so awesome, and I loved the theme song. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
So
I get inspired by theme songs too.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like the opening credits, it was so the way it was. Anyway, so I did that song, and I guess because it was an HBO show and it had such amazing popularity across continents, you know, I started getting all these views on that. And I started getting international views, and like people from Russia started commenting, because I guess someone on YouTube took my audio from it and used it on one of their videos, and they had like 1 million subscribers. So people started coming me like, oh, I heard your song on, you know, Bad Comedians, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So I just got lucky. I think luck is a huge part of my life, but also just putting yourself out there, doing what you love, and, you know.
Well, getting back to authenticity.
Yeah.
Kim Boyko.
Oh, you say these are the best days. Times they change, but they don't really change that much, you know. And all in all, we're simply tiny specks of dust and salt to enjoy the time we had.
Check. Beauty of it all. It's always difficult, right? Because the singing voice is so much louder than the talking voice, so you end up losing stuff.
Well, we're gonna do it this way. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk for.
Do the music separate.
Yeah, we're gonna do the music separately.
That's smart.
We'll just talk about. We'll keep it casual. That's why
Yeah, sure.
I have beer and bourbon on hand. But, you know.